you know. So we adopted this in such a way that it was a fine balance, you know, because we came from a very primitive, you know. I mean, I've been in SMB, we've been in SMB for some time, and the things that we did before was like, you know, pencil and paper, you know, then shouting across to the kitchen to like something like this. So when you have something like this, and then if you leave the, we find that we still, for me myself, for example, when I go to a restaurant and sit down and eat, and they give me a tablet and they tell me, okay, you just go ahead and order, and I find that really annoying, you know. So I still need to, you know, when people ask me like, you know, how you want your steak, you know, sometimes you know that there's more that's conversation inside there. Of course, maybe you can put in things like, you know, oh, you want medium well, you know, well done, you know, all that maybe people can take, right? But sometimes the conversation will take us further, like, where's your steak from? What's the weight of your steak, for example? You know, I mean, and people want to know, oh, this, that, and you know, it helps when we know our product and we can explain. Then you know, it just builds up a lot more customer confidence in you know. Check this out, right? If you take with pen and paper, you write down, and then you go back inside there, and then you pass it to someone else at the cashier, and then the person starts to key in everything. So no matter how good your handwriting is or whatever, you still have a room to make mistake in interpretation, you know. And of course, you know, we have cut down on the shouting of orders, so things have been quiet, you know. I mean, you know, so that people can enjoy their dining experience, you know. And with dining partner, you just hold a tab, you go from one table, then you take down the order, blah 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 blah, and then you just press send. You don't have to walk anywhere else. All you gotta do is just turn your body, face another table, and take it. How beautiful is that? You know? So that in itself has saved so much of manpower time. You know, and the ease of use, you know, for the customers, they get to speak directly and inquire things. At the same time, it also adds to the ambience of the restaurant. So it's not noisy. So you can, you know, nicely speak and whisper to the customers and, you know, give a personal time to them. Yeah. I think that's very, very good. Yeah, with regards to dining buddies.
Okay. You don't like the table ordering. I want to hear a little bit before I change my question. Why is that so? It's getting popular.
It is getting popular. Why is it getting popular? Who have you been listening to?
It is getting popular, I must say.
You mean people like to come down and just go to the tap and just order
so
on their own and sit down in a restaurant? Like
let me tell you that I'm a person that really gets onto the job. So I went to your 50K branch price.
Thank you.
I like the food.
Thank you.
I don't eat mutton.
And?
So I ordered the beef tulang. I don't, I mean...
But tulang is mutton.
No, not the beef marrow.
Oh, the beef marrow.
Sorry, not tulang, sorry. I mean the beef marrow. You know, you have one that...
Correct, the big one,
yeah, the big one. Yeah, actually I'm quite amazed. You use a saw, right, I assume. I don't know how you do it, but you know, when you were delivered to my...
They have a machine to cut through. Yeah.
So, I've been there twice. But the default is to ask them, do you mind want to order from the table? If not, then we will come back to you. I think that can save some of the time, particularly during the peak hours. This is what I do again. Definitely, you may win a few more customers that just...
They will be waiting, right?
Yeah. This is my opinion. Yeah. I say I literally went there twice. Hardly I went there once. Yeah. And opposite your restaurant on the main street, I think North East Road, there was another one that is a pasta restaurant, a very small one. They fully able to read and to the payment as well. But one thing I do notice is that the persona of the diner very young. Because pasta, is you have a range. You have the range for the young and also the senior. But the pasta tends to be like the senior will walk into a pasta shop. So it's probably more important. I do see that this table of drink is getting more popular. I went over to other popular chains like Jack Place. They already started. I think ordering system obviously have getting more popular. I'm not trying to persuade you. I'm just trying to give you my.
But you give me a perspective, definitely. Yeah.
Increase your sales.
So maybe like here also, then you can give us the stickers to put on the table.
Because this is a much better place. This is a more, like a young, really, because people will come to
Actually, down here,
Have we started filming yet?
no, I just want to.
Okay, we got to wrap this up because we are taking quite a bit of his time. My team also needs to check with Wahid on the deployment.
yeah.
Thought it was to be behind you.
Down here, the whole Indians, all the whole machi come with the whole family and all wear tudung, all dress up. They take a long time to put on the tudung. Transit to dining butler, then slowly, now they are so used to it. So now it's just part of the dining butler is part of our
You think that the transition is there, but we eventually see the usefulness.
Yeah. For example, like down here, what I'm trying to do is that we need to transit from going into paperless. Yeah. So no more this absent printer, printing out receipts and all that. Yeah. So we've invested on 2 screens, 2 big
In the kitchen.
Yeah, in the kitchen. So they can just click on from there. So there won't be any receipt printing. Yeah.
What other additional features would you like to see from the dining butler?
Additional feature. Oh, I never think of this. So far all is good. I think dining butler, I've worked with quite a number of different POS systems, right? I think dining butler is the best POS system there is. It really, it's very friendly and my staff are also easy
So
with
you
it.
say that you came across other POS systems. What are the difficulties that you do find?
In other POS systems. There's always something lacking in the product in other people's product. I don't know why, but
Not specific that you felt.
yeah. So things like some things you one of the major things I would say is the back-end support. Back-end support. With dining butler, you get back-end support very quickly. They fix stuff very quickly. But I forgot to mention this. The best thing for me, right, dining butler is being able to turn on my phone and look at how the outlet is doing. Right now, outlet haven't started yet, so now 0. So this is our daily performance, and this is how I work for my pay.
Okay, so I will do about 5 questions. In case I look at about 5 questions.
Yeah. Tash have been with dining butler since I think we were like the second customer of dining butler. So that we've been with them for a good 5 years.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah.
That's a long time. That's before COVID.
It's before way before COVID. Yeah. Right. Traditional as opposed to pen and paper and shouting orders and all that, but dining butler has helped us to transition to just taking orders from the tap, just clicking send, and it goes straight to the kitchen. So you just have to from one table, you just take your order one table, click send, and then you turn around and then you serve another table. Yeah. So you don't have to move the mobility you cut down on moving, Yeah. So customers get attended to a lot faster. And I also understand that by dining butler also you can have that QR code where people can make their own ordering also from their own table. Yeah.
Since you mentioned about the table ordering, I do have a
we
question.
do have that. We had that sticker on the table over at 50K, but over the years the sticker also worn out. Yeah, but I think we need new stickers, man. Dining butler. Yeah, and yeah, that also helped the ease of ordering. But sometimes some customers they prefer the human touch. Yeah, and also our crowd is a lot of the bigger percentage are the people who are 40 years and above. Yeah, we are more of a casual dining family restaurant. So when we talk about family, we're talking about 3 generations: grandparents, parents, and children. Yeah.
To waiters to manually order. At the same time, the alternative also the diners can order for themselves.
Definitely, the versatility is there in dining butler.
So far, what do you think that dining butler in terms of the services that really impress you?
Right. The product itself, once when we started out doing with dining butler, right, one of the conversations I had was with dining butler was that every F&B has their own DNA. So they don't dining butler do not have one solution for everyone, or rather they cater to every single F&B outlet, and that's something that I very much appreciate, because even though we are small, but we operate differently from other people, and they have managed to cater to our needs, and in that sense that when our needs is met and we can just go on our operations, yeah. And at the same time, one of the best things that dining butler has is that whenever we have a problem, we call, right? The back end support is there, it's right there and then. Like I'm talking about weekdays, weekend, they are there to help us. So that's one of the best things about dining butler, yeah. As opposed to like people who don't work on the weekends, because we F&B we work on the weekends. Yeah, we thrive on weekends, right?
So going through this transition, your experience,
we always put ourselves in a staff shoe. It's because we've all been staff before, so we all we've been in F&B for a while, like, being waiters and all that. So when we see something that is beneficial to our operations, right, we need to implement it. But of course, the staff and all that, they're very set in their own ways and all, but slowly, bring in 1-2 weeks, they'll get used to it and they'll forget about their old ways, and then they will start to realize that dining butler is a lot better to have than not to have. Yeah. And that's how right now we transition to a paperless operations. That means our kitchen, we have a screen, touch screen, 24-inch touch screen, so everything in it. So no papers. Yeah.
that's okay. That's good to hear.
No. I mean, we do give time because, like for example, right now, right? We have this. We have the screen and we have the printer also going on.
Oh, okay.
So you don't remove the printer altogether, but you have the screen. Yeah. So they can do the touch screen and they can also use the printer. You know what I mean? So, but sooner or later, they just gonna see the lesser need for the printer, and that's how then we can probably finally switch it on. Yeah.
I'm actually very impressed from a process. It's what we call agile. I'm sure you heard this word. It looks like you're so accustomed to iteration. First round with both sides. After that, one side and see whether it really works before you transit fully.
Yeah, because we have to listen to their fears.
Yes.
Yeah. Because we cannot just say like, hey, your fear is unfounded. We can't do that. Then you can't just swipe it away. You have to address it. You must find a solution for it. By the end of the day, they must, we all must go to a way that is, of ease. Yeah.
Alright, so thanks. A allow us to discuss on this topic.
Did you catch the part when I say about the people who want to engage dining partner, right? They will need these the most. Yeah. So yeah, but the best thing about dining butler, I mean, we spoke about the operations, about the stuff and all, But the best thing for me is being able to have this on my phone, right? So this is how I monitor the performance of all the different outlets, right? At the comfort of my bed. Nobody needs to know. This one you can do the comfort of your home. You can be with your family, have some quality time at home and still have this and just like, hey, you have one eye on the clock. Just saying.
Show. Again, one eye on the clock. Thank you. Repeat.
With this, you can still have quality time with your family and you still have one eye on the clock.
You don't have to teach them what is it to scan QR code, what is it to do, what is a kitchen management system. Well, if they don't, then on-job training, then you susah, you got to hold them. Because certain general processes are the same. Okay? Okay, Mr. Wahid, we're just now talking about what are some of the benefits and some of the things that Dining Butler did for you. So you mentioned that there was some ease of use with Dining Butler. What are some of the best features that you have found with us and what you have found most useful for yourself?
Sorry.
Let's get on here. Don't worry.
The thing that Dining Butler has provided for us is that for us, our instance is that we were doing taking order from pen and pencil and paper, and then going in and keying it in and over at the cashier, and then sometimes shout the order across to the kitchen and all that. So that was, in today's context, that's very primitive. So what Dining Butler did for us is that in the midst of all that kecoh, that hustle and bustle, it has minimized all those kecohness and just make everything a lot smoother. By example, one of our guys will come out and take an order. They face one table, they key in everything, they click send. Immediately it goes to the kitchen, it goes to the bar, right? And then he just turns and faces to the other table, and then he continues keying in and attending to another group of guests. So in that sense, then things work very beautifully. You cut down on the noise, you cut down on the walking mobility and all that. So yeah, things like that. I mean, that's what we need. And
how about service support?
Yeah, for Dining Butler, the thing that we've been working with them for so long is that every F&B has their own DNA. There are no two the same F&B outlet, So when we started out with them, they actually, work together with us to actually define whatever that we need, and they try to cater to that particular needs of ours. You see, and when we were doing that, we had a lot of, because we were transiting from paper to digital. So obviously our guys face some difficulties, So, but the thing about Dining Butler is that on our busy days, like Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday, and the weekends, when we call them up, and they were always there to help us. Always there to rectify, not only to attend to our needs immediately, but rectify the problem on the spot, and we can continue to serve our customers. And that's one of those things that is priceless. Yeah.
Good. That's it.
没有问题啊。最后那些
I think
What else you need? You say that.
那个床上了。
You were able to, you were showing your screen and you said something about able to monitor the table.
Right. Yeah, this one I must show you from my phone.
Okay.
This one is your winning factor, because this one only the bosses will appreciate.
Okay. So you're saying about the ability to manage your business remotely.
Right.
Just share with us something
Yeah.
about how Tiny Wonder has helped you do that.
So far, all the things that I've mentioned, they're all with regards to operations and staff and how it benefits the customer and everything. But what is in it for me, what's in it for me is what I'm about to show you that right now. You turn on your phone, you just go down here and you have this thing. Yeah. Well, our store is not open yet, so but from this, I can monitor the performance of any of my outlets from the comfort of my own bed.
Cool. Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Later, we're going to show you because this.
Hello. Testing 1, 2, 3. Really that recording now. Just oh,
You kena already, haven't kena?
haven't.
Haven't kena.
All my family member kena SME, so I'm very strong. Okay, I
kena
cannot.
already.
Oh, you kena already. When was it?
Last month.
Last month.
Same time as him lah.
My wife kena last month also.
Nothing right?
I'm kind of like a little bit uncomfortable. Nothing.
Nothing lah. Flu is worse. Fever is
I had H1N1 before.
No, that one how?
Terrible.
That one jalan lah.
1 month.
Ah.
1 month. Yeah. It was so aggressive. I clearly remember it was a Sunday. No, serious. Back then I was traveling. There was a different job. I was doing training.
Right.
So I'm not supposed to do training, but due to some mix up in the schedule, so they supplementary.
Right.
Yeah, so I backup trainer. So I fly into KL in the morning Sunday. The class is 9 to 5. I fly on Sunday, 8 o'clock flight from Singapore to KL. My staff picked me up from the airport. A lady, she told me, "You don't feel so good."
Oh no.
No fever, no problem. After today, I'll go and rest. That's all. So during breakfast, we eat together. Then we have a class. At lunchtime, I don't feel anything. By the evening, she said she don't really feel very good. So I say Sunday, Monday, go on MC. Flight delay. I was at Starbucks. Yeah, I start to feel not so good. By the time I get on flight, I was already not feeling very good. No fever, running nose and everything. By the time I touched down, I turn on my phone. She says she's in the hospital. I went home, quickly went to a 24-hour clinic. I said I suspect myself a problem, and the doctor tells me, "Don't worry, it's a flu." Yeah, give me Panadol and give me Mentin. You know, Mentin is the antibiotic. So I asked him, I said, "Does antibiotic cure flu?" He said, "Oh, you also know it doesn't. But anyway, I just give it to you." So by the time I finished off, by the time I went back home, the whole world was turning. Immediately I isolated myself. And for the next 1 week, every day, fever, cold, headache, diarrhea, 1 week.
Wow, the works, huh?
Wow, unbelievable. And then after that, after the second week, recovered somehow, headache for another 2 weeks. No kidding. My colleague in Malaysia hospital for 2 weeks. But in Singapore, I isolate myself. No kidding.
But Singapore wasn't big, right?
It wasn't big, but it is like movie, you know. It is so aggressive, no. Just by the hour, by the time, yeah, that was my.
You're lucky to be alive, lah.
Oh, I think so. I think so.
Sounds very.
It is so aggressive. It is so like fast and terrible. No? Yeah, so I was waiting for this COVID to see how it works for me, but maybe because H1N1, I have a different immune system. I don't know. Yeah, my doctor, my wife,
But the vaccine did help a lot.
So vaccine, I don't know. I mean, it didn't happen to me, so maybe it works.
Yeah, that's why it works. That's why you didn't get it because of the vaccine, right? You kena already not.
Just
You
kena
kena
already.
already,
Yeah.
Same lah. How was it bad for you?
So you took your booster shot or not?
Fever lor.
You kena fever.
Yeah, kena fever.
Okay, so I'm from a different company, by the way. I'm
Okay.
from the company called Experience. We do training.
Okay.
Our main business is training. I believe maybe yourself and some of your staff go for the food safety, food hygiene.
Yeah.
We do that kind of training. One of our major business
Yeah.
and solution provider as a bundle to some of our clients. Our major sector of our customer is F&B
Right.
because of the food safety, environmental control, coordinator cost. So in terms of food safety, I think we probably about 40%, according to my boss. Yeah, I'm not sure where do you know your guys took your food safety course from?
Various places. Because my one I took so long ago already.
Because 5 years, second round is 5 years, first round is 3 years.
Is it?
Yeah.
I took the officer course already. Yeah, I took that at the Bedok Tampines ITE.
Oh, okay, so the under IHL. Yeah, the schools that does, but ours is because we are privately owned. Yeah, so we also offer that as well.
I see.
Yeah, so quite recently we tend to we wanted to collaborate together with Daniel Butler. So idea was behind was the topics of digital transformation for F&B. We saw some success, we saw some failure, and we think that in order to have a more successful training should be a part of it. So therefore, I spoke to CF, and then he say, yeah, he's been delivering this solution. So say, why not? If you deliver a solution, then we'd like to look at possibilities on the learning aspect of this. That's how we decided to work together. Yeah. So I know very little about Tiny Butler. I know from CF that you are one of the early adopters.
Yeah, I think we were the second one.
Oh, second one,
Right.
wow.
You are pioneer.
Is it we are the second one, right?
I think so.
I think
Top few lah, top few. Yeah, the pioneer one.
because we were told back then by the Starhub people that we were the second people to take on dining bar. That was back when during Starhub days.
So we thought we just want to talk to some of the Tiny Butler customer, and then go back and work out something on the training aspect. And maybe I'll contact you back again, see how. I think we need to learn. We need to learn from customer like you. Yeah. I mean, successful implementation obviously, but maybe we'll also like to hear out some of the failure and see what causes that, and then we can complement. Because we think that solution is just a solution. I think training is also really important because there are more than one role in any F&B, especially in your restaurant is a bit bigger. In a small one, maybe you got 2 person, then no different.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm going to just quickly run through this question, give you some thoughts about it, so that when later I mention the question, you have. Yeah, so first question would be, how long have you been using Tiny Butler? Roughly lah. You no need to go by the.
How old is Dining Butler?
6 years.
Yeah, probably that time, right?
6 years.
Work with Starhub maybe 5 years back.
I think 5
5
years.
years.
Yeah, 5
So
yeah.
roughly, I just remember lah.
Yeah.
Working partner.
You need to mention them.
Yeah, please do.
So
Not
roughly lah.
application fee.
So I just
Yeah, Tash has been with Dining Butler for the past 5 years.
so I just run through so that roughly when later when we go on live, you just kind of blah blah blah.
Okay.
Okay. How many staff do you have before implementation and after implementation of Dining Butler? Now the reason of these questions, maybe I'd like to highlight. Want to hear whether do you see a productivity saving of manpower?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, if this is not appropriate, then I take away because I have 12 lah. I don't need to ask. I don't need to ask all of them. So tell me about this. What do you think? I mean, On the real case, I want to know.
Right.
It need not be in the recording. If you
Right.
think this is not appropriate on the recording, it's fine.
Right.
But I think it's for our learning aspect.
Right.
Of it. Do you see?
Because back then when they asked me this question, right, then I said this thing is supposed to
Say.
value add
Yeah.
and to to the business, to the running of the business. But at the same time, it's not supposed to cut down the employment.
It's not supposed to cut down from
Yeah, because there are people who looking for jobs. That's back then when they were saying that. But in any case, our employment, is not. Maybe we have expanded when we first started out with Dining Butler. Because when you started Dining Butler, you only one outlet. Yeah. So now we already two outlets. So the number of people has definitely increased. Definitely. Yeah. But we did not fire anyone because of Dining Butler.
Okay. Okay, maybe I'll just take out these questions. I'll take out these questions just to. Okay, so Dining Butler offers a couple of features, namely digital ordering, digital payments, e-loyalty, and CRM and automated reservation. Now, I do understand from renders that this is the full features of Dining Butler.
Right.
Your restaurant did not implement all.
Yeah.
So, which one did you implement?
Right. You see, with this digital technology, right, it's supposed to add ease to our operations, but at the same time, you cannot remove the human touch altogether. So we adopted this in such a way that it was a fine balance, because we came from a very primitive, I mean, I've been in F&B, we've been in F&B for some time, and the things that we did before was like, pencil and paper, then shouting across to the kitchen to like something like this. So when you have something like this, and then if you leave we find that the interaction with the customer, right, is very important. So you know that. Well, then brace man, this girl. So we still, for me myself, for example, when I go to a restaurant and I sit down and eat, and they give me a tablet and they tell me, okay, you just go ahead and order what you want, and I find that really annoying. So I still need to, when people ask me like, how you want your steak, sometimes that small, that's conversation inside there. Of course, maybe you can put in things like, you want medium well, well done, all that maybe people can take, right? But sometimes the conversation will take us further, like, where's your steak from? What's the weight of your steak, for example? I mean, and people want to know, this, that, and it helps when we know our product, and we can explain. Then it just builds up a lot more customer confidence in our product. So that's the part where we need to have the balance. Because with Dining Butler itself, we have definitely speed up our service. Because check this out, right? If you take with pen and paper, you write down, and then you go back inside there, and then you pass it to someone else at the cashier, and then the person starts to key in everything. So no matter how good your handwriting is or whatever, you still have a room to make mistake in interpretation. And of course, we have cut down on the shouting of orders, so things have been quiet. I mean, so that people can enjoy their dining experience. And with Dining Butler, you just hold a tab, you go from one table, then you take down the orders, blah 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 blah, and then you just press set. You don't have to walk anywhere else. All you gotta do is just turn your body, face another table, and take the order. How beautiful is that? you know. So that in itself has saved so much of manpower time, you know, and the ease of use, you know, for the customers, they get to speak directly and inquire things. At the same time, it also adds to the ambience of the restaurant. So it's not noisy. So you can, you know, nicely speak and whisper to the customers and, you know, give the personal time to them. Yeah. I think that's very valuable, yeah, with regards to dining bar. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe I will restructure my question for later. You may not be interested because it is not in your business model. It is e-loyalty, you know, those kind of
Yeah.
redemption, and also reservation. Reservation. Yeah. So are you using the reservation?
We're handling our own reservation.
Okay. Yeah. So if I ask this now, then it looks like everything is missing out. So
Right.
then I would rather ask and say, Dining Button does offer a whole range of digital. Then I leave it to you to say, yeah, which are the one that you see most important. Then you can mention that, you know, you see the ordering from the tablets are useful because it cuts down the used to be the paper processes. I think that would be fine. Yeah. Okay. Okay, but I just want to get back to this topic of just now what you just opposed. You said you don't like the table ordering.
Right.
Yeah. I want to hear a little bit before I change my question. Why is that so? It's getting popular.
It is getting popular. How is it getting popular? Who you been listening to?
It is getting popular. I must say.
You mean people like to come down and just go to the tap and just order on
So
their own and sit down in a restaurant like
let me
that?
tell you that I'm a person that really gets onto the jobs. So I went to your 50K brunch price.
Oh, you did? Yeah, thank you.
I like the food.
Right. Thank you.
I don't eat mutton,
Right. And?
so I ordered the beef tulang.
Uh,
I don't. I mean,
but tulang is mutton.
no, not the beef marrow.
Oh, the beef marrow. Right,
Sorry,
right.
not tulang. Sorry, I mean the beef marrow. You know, you have one that.
Correct, the big one, yeah.
Yeah, the big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I'm quite amazed. You use a saw, right? I assume. I don't know how you do it, but you know, when you will deliver to my.
Yeah, they have a machine to cut through across. Yeah.
So I did that twice. The second time, I decided to try your tulang. So I ordered the nasi
Nasi
goreng.
They were not comfortable, you know, because everybody is always set in their own ways, right? So for them to transit from paper to doing this, right? Dining butler, so it takes a lot of getting used to it. Yeah. So yeah, they were very reluctant to transit to dining butler. So when we transit to dining butler, then slowly, now they are so used to it. So now it's just part of the dining butler is part of our
So
DNA.
you think that the transition is there, but they eventually see the usefulness in.
Yeah. For example, like down here, what I'm trying to do is that we need to transit from going into paperless. Yeah. So no more of this absent printer, printing out receipts and all that. Yeah. So we've invested on two screens, two big
In the kitchen.
Yeah, in the kitchen. So they can just click on from there. So there won't be any receipt printing out. Yeah.
What other additional feature would you like to see from the dining butler?
Additional feature. Oh, I never think of this. So far, all is good. I think dining butler is. I've worked with quite a number of different POS systems, right? Yeah, I think dining butler is the best POS system there is. Yeah. It really it's very friendly, and my staff were all so easy.
Okay, so you say that you came across other POS system.
Yeah.
What are the difficulty that you do find? with other courses.
in other courses, there's always something lacking in the product, in other people's product. I don't know why, but
Not specific, but you felt such.
yeah. So things like some things you one of the major things I would say is the back end support.
The back end.
Back end support with dining butler, you get back end support very quickly. Yeah, and they fix stuff very quickly. But I forgot to mention this. The best thing for me, right, dining butler has is being able to turn on my phone and look at how the outlet is doing. Right now outlet haven't started yet, so now 0. So this is our daily performance, and this is how I work for my pay.
Okay. Okay, so I will do about 5 questions. In this case, I look at about 5 questions.
Yeah.
Then we can go over recording.
So just now not recorded yet.
Hi, Mr. Wahid. Nice to know you today. My name is Kenneth. I'm from Experience.
Pleasure again.
Just want to hear from you. How long have you been using Dining Butler platform?
Tosh have been with Dining Butler since I think we were like the second customer of Dining Butler. So that we've been with them for a good 5 years.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah.
That's a long time. That's before COVID.
It's before COVID, way before COVID. Yeah.
Okay. So Dining Butler does offer a range of digital services. What are one of the 2 pieces of the Dining Butler that you find that really useful from your traditional way of handling?
Right. Traditional as in opposed to like
Writing,
pen and paper and shouting orders and all that, but Dining Butler has helped us to transition to just taking orders from the tab, just clicking send, and it goes straight to the kitchen. Okay. So you just have to from one table, you just take your order one table, you click send, and then you turn on, and then you serve another table. Yeah. So you don't have to move the mobility. You cut down on the moving. Yeah. So and the customers get attended to a lot faster. And I also understand about Dining Butler, so you can have that QR code where the people can make their own ordering also from their own table. Yeah.
Since you mentioned about the table ordering, I do have a question.
We do have that. We had that sticker on the table over at 50K, but over the years the sticker also worn out. Yeah, but I think we need new stickers, man. Dining Butler. Yeah. And that also helped the ease of ordering, but sometimes some customers they prefer the human touch. Yeah. And also our crowd is a lot of the bigger percentage are the people who are 40 years and above. Yeah. We are more of a casual dining family restaurant. So when we talk about family, we're talking about 3 generations: grandparents, parents, and children. Yeah. So they need a little bit more attention. Yeah. But of course, the younger ones, they're more savvy to do the ordering themselves. Yeah.
So it looks like Dining Butler has a hybrid. It allows you to the waiters to manually order. At the same time, the alternative will also the diners can order on themselves.
Definitely, the versatility is there in Dining Butler.
So far, what do you think that Dining Butler in terms of the services that really impress you?
Right. The product itself, once when we started out doing with Dining Butler, right, one of the conversations I had was with Dining Butler was that every F&B has their own DNA. So Dining Butler do not have one solution for everyone, or rather they cater to every single F&B outlet, and that's something that I very much appreciate, because even though we are small, but we operate differently from other people, and they have managed to cater to our needs, and in that sense that when our needs is met and we can just go on our operation, you know. Yeah. And at the same time, one of the best things that dining butler has is that whenever we have a problem, we call, right? The back end support is there, it's right there and then. Like I'm talking about weekdays, weekend, they are there to help us. So that's one of the best thing about dining butler. Yeah. As opposed to like people who don't work on the weekend. Because we F&B, we work on the weekends. Yeah, we thrive on weekends, right?
So going through this transition, your experience, do you see a lot of difficulty or moderate to transit from a paper-based solution to
Yeah.
digital?
We always put ourselves in our staff shoe. It's because we've all been staff before, so you know what I mean. We all we've been in F&B for a long time, you know, being waiters and all that. So when we see something that is beneficial to our operations, right, we need to implement it. But of course, you know, the staff and all that, they're very set in their own ways and all, you know. But slowly, you know, you bring in 1-2 weeks, they'll get used to it and they'll forget about their old ways, and then they will start to realize that, you know, dining butler is a lot better to have than not to have. Yeah. And that's how right now we transition to a paperless operations. That means our kitchen, we have a screen, touch screen, 24-inch touch screen, so everything digital. So
Okay.
no paper.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good for the green as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you see that dining butlers to learn about dining butler, as what you say is it takes some time. It takes some time. Your way is to give times to your staff, little by little. So
But not very much time.
not very much time. Okay, that's good to hear.
No. I mean, we do give time because, like for example, right now, right? I mean, we have this, we have the screen and we have the printer also going on.
Oh, okay.
So you don't remove the printer altogether, but you have the screen. Yeah. So they can do the touch screen and they can also use the printer. You know what I mean? So, but sooner or later they just gonna see the need, the lesser need for the printer, and that's how then we can probably finally switch it on. Yeah.
I'm actually very impressed from a process. It's what we call agile. Maybe you heard this word. It looks like you're so accustomed to iteration. First round with both sides.
Yeah.
After that, one side and see whether it really works before you
Right.
you transit fully.
Yeah, because we have to listen to their fears.
Yes.
Yeah. Because we cannot just say like, hey, your fear is unfounded. You know, we can't do that. Then you can't just swipe it away. You have to address it. You must find a solution for it. Yeah. By the end of the day, you know, they must, you know, we all must go to a way that is, you know, of ease. You know. Yeah.
All right. So thanks for your time. Thanks for your time that allow us to discuss on this topic.
Right. Did you catch the part when I say about the?
No, I just want to tell you, can you repeat the one, the best part on the bed?
Yeah, that one is very
One
important.
louder, because
I think for people to want to engage dining butler, right, the owner, they will need this the most. Yeah. So yeah, the best thing about dining butler, I mean, we spoke about, you know, the operations, about the staff and all, you know, but the best thing for me is being able to have this on my phone, right? So this is how I monitor the performance of all the different outlets, right? At the comfort of my bed. Alright. Nobody needs to know.
Great.
Right?
Thank you very much.
Nobody
Thank you
needs to
very
know,
much.
right?
Yeah. That's the best part for advertisement tag.
Yeah. Because I think this one is the best thing for them. Forget everything else, man. This one you can do the comfort of your home. You know, you can be with your family, you know, have some quality time at home and still have this and just like, hey, you have one eye on the clock. Just say.
one eye on the clock. Thank you. Repeat.
With this, you can still have quality time with your family, and you still have one eye on the clock.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Hey, I want you see I miss out anything about you.